Socialhack podcast. So, hello dear friends, this time we are making 13th podcast and this time in English. Today I have a very special guest, Dmitrijus Borisenka. Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Martynas.
And why is it special? Because we are talking today all things related to fintech and stuff like that. And Dmitry is representing one of the most known Lithuanian fintech companies. So Dmitry, introduce us your business. He is co-founder, yes?
Yeah, that's true.
How everything started and how are you doing today?
So I'll maybe start from our services, what we do. Basically, we are allowing businesses to integrate cryptocurrencies as a mean of payment. Mm-hmm. So wherever you sell coffee in a coffee shop or you have an e-commerce store, if you want to have an opportunity for your shoppers to pay for with Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other cryptocurrencies, which we currently support around 70, we are allowing you to integrate that in a convenient fashion. Well, actually, my journey in crypto started 10 years ago, which is an eternity away.
Yeah, exactly. This is history.
Yeah, this is a lot. And this was just out of passion for cryptography, for IT.
So you yourself are IT guy, yes?
I'm an IT guy, but I was always fascinated by various payment systems and especially wallets. So I started to make money online when I was still in the school, and back then I had the hassle to open a bank account. So I started to look for other ways where I could have some kind of not a bank, but some kind of a platform where I could store my assets.
Okay.
Therefore, I found WebMoney, the Russian platform, which was prominent back then. I found PayPal, Perfect Money, Liberty Reserve, eGold. There are many of those which were famous 20 years ago, but are no longer here. Of course, PayPal is still king and is still dominating the market. But for me, I was always fascinated by various payment platforms, and I went back and forth to various businesses. I started to buy domain names. I started to create websites, sell them for traffic, and etc.
You built all the stuff by yourself?
Yes, yes. Oh. So we had a small team of me and my best friend, who is also co-founder of CoinGate, Jonas, and we started to play with internet projects, let's say. And then we had a totally different idea to. This is absolutely was bizarre idea to open a taxi company.
Taxi company.
Taxi company. Okay. Yes. And we opened the taxi company 11 years ago in 2011. There was no Uber, there was no Bolt, nothing back then. And this was our biggest mistake because we didn't foresee that the future will be out for the decentralized economies and shared economies. But sometimes one gates open the other opportunities. So when we were trying to find our way under the sun, we had a taxi company, and we started to we saw that there's this interesting payment system called Bitcoin, and so we integrated it into our taxis, because we were the one company in Lithuania. It was called Jazz Express. So we used to have this tablets.
I remember you can pay by Bitcoin. It was stickers on the windows.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was 2012.
It was so early.
And we were the first transportation company in the world to do that. And still till this day, there are interviews and articles about our idea, and it brought us such a huge hype that we were lifted with that idea, And then we started to integrate ourselves more into the technology while still building a taxi business after hours of hard work, and actually a huge failure, a 6-figure failure, which I invested all of my money which I had at the moment. But we had some time to sit down together with my best friend and a third co-founder, which is a head developer. And after the hard working hours, we started to scrap the website, code by code. And it was 2013-14 when we actually created the CoinGate. So it was actually
so early.
It was early, and it was actually the garage startup, because we were having a taxi company
Yeah,
headquarters.
exactly, it's related.
Tires, all the
Tires and
spare
all the
parts and
stuff.
everything, and then you have computers and Apples and MacBooks where people are working. So our idea was simple. Everyone back in 2013-14 was speaking about the crypto adoption, how it will change the world, how it is the next world order, cross-border payments, and etc. and etc. And we thought there is a chicken egg problem. There will be a huge shift, but no one knows where to start from.
Yeah.
And so we thought that we had such a good advertisement with accepting cryptocurrency in the taxi business. Therefore, maybe we should, because we already have a use case.
Did you receive some payments?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, our fourth employee was a CTO who was a geek in cryptocurrency technology, and he still works to this day. This is Rytis Beliauskas. So we constructed the whole proposal that we want to integrate businesses. We checked the various e-commerce platforms, created plugins, created an API, and slowly started to offer services. And this offering took us 3 years to actually start onboarding any real customers.
So it was 2017 or something?
Exactly, when the ICO ICO wave kicked in.
Exactly.
Then we started to see an exponential growth of interest and of registrations that were interested in having our solution. So again, this was an interesting business lesson. We had a great idea, but it was totally unfeasible. We had to educate people why they should do that. Foreigners were fascinated. You come to Lithuania 10 years ago.
It's crazy.
There's a taxi company. There is a Bitcoin logo on the side. They were like, "What's that?" So there was a small community in Lithuania also, but it was numbers. So it wasn't huge amounts. So anyway, we started to get bigger amounts of customers in 2017, but still we were, every now and then we had another customer from another segment, from another industry, which was new to us. We're growing, but not in a fashion that I would be happy with. Right? So I had many fears and many dark thoughts that I need to cut it off and just forget about this business. And I'm happy I did not. So this was our start. How we got interested about the technology was basically in Berlin, in Germany, there were conferences which were run by ultra leftist parties like libertarians and some kind of they were interested about this technology from the privacy perspective, how you can be confidential and how you can make purchases without Google tracking or bank tracking
your government.
Exactly. So they started to have a monthly gathers. We attended those, and then we started to understand the technology and came back already with the knowledge. So 10 years passed.
Yeah, so it's basically then you understood that this is really the market growing and there is really a lot of customers appearing, yes?
Exactly. At first it was a casino. It was we were fascinated by the price fluctuations because when I was buying my first Bitcoins, it was $11. Just $11. It's not 11,000.
I remember those times like everybody was saying, what is this rubbish, some kind of joke, yes?
Exactly. It was like a RuneScape gold, like play money.
Yeah.
And then I remember I managed to sell some for $70. Almost all of it sold for $70, and I thought that I'm the best investor.
10 times, yes?
I thought I'm the best investor in the world, and I have the keys from all the investment banks. And then the price started to grow, and I understood, okay, this is actually a very interesting technology. And when I got into the roots of how it is constructed, and I got just mesmerized. It is a beautiful technology, and still to this day, I'm mesmerized how scalable it is. So I was just amazed.
Socialhack podcast. Okay, Dmitry, how are you doing with CoinGate today?
So we managed to grow from 3 people. Today we have 44 people working with CoinGate. We are no longer a startup. We are no longer a project. We are a serious business.
What is CoinGate exactly? What is CoinGate? How to explain for simple person?
If you want to pay for your coffee with credit card or cash money, you could also pay with cryptocurrencies. So let's call it the POS platform solution would be done from our side. So if you go to whatever, like a booking platform where you can book tickets. At the end of the funnel in the checkout process, you have an option of how you would want to make a payment.
So you're connecting businesses with consumers, yeah?
Exactly.
But you don't operate, for example, like wallets or stuff like that.
So we have wallets, but this is not our main product. We use it for corporate purposes mostly, but of course it's a major business. So we're already 7 years as a company in this industry. So we see that the market consolidates, and we will include wallets, and we will include other services that would allow CoinGate to become more like an ecosystem rather than just a payment processor.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was reading through the news and I noticed like last year it was like the market growth was like 3 times, yes, of crypto in the world, the global market growth. And you told that a lot of businesses are adopting like payment by crypto.
Yeah.
But as a consumer, as the final consumer, it's interesting for me. Okay, I will have wallet, yes, and somebody, for example, I know that there is a music shop in Vilnius, Soundium, that they are accepting crypto, yeah. How does it technically work?
So what we solve for business is the necessity to have cryptocurrencies, to have a support for cryptocurrencies. What it means is that if you would go to Soundium, which is our customer, and you would decide that you want to buy music, you would put them to your cart, then you would go to the checkout process, and then you have to select cryptocurrencies, which would be solved by us. And then we allow you to select 70 different cryptocurrencies. Once you select any of those, we give you an instruction, usually it's a QR code. You scan it with your wallet, you settle a transaction, and at the end of the day, the customer decides whether he wants to store everything in cryptos or he wants to have an immediate conversion to euros. Yeah. So therefore, you're allowing yourself to be open for $1.5 trillion economy, capitalization of various cryptocurrencies, but you will receive everything in euros if you don't want to be a victim of those fluctuations, let's say. They usually refer you to some kind of a window where you need to make an instructional steps in order to finalize the payment. So the same applies with crypto. We lock the rate for 20 minutes. You want to pay with Bitcoin, you select the Bitcoin network, you transfer the money from your wallet, from your mobile device, from your laptop, and we have a process in place where we would check whether that transaction will be whether it will be processed or not, and once we are secured that it will be done, then we give a call back to the merchant that he can release the goods, and we settle the transaction next day. By the time we finish this podcast, we will process around 150 to 200 transactions for our merchants. In 1 hour, we usually process this amount. So this is stupid simple. You have an invoice, you select the cryptocurrency that you want to pay with, and that's it. Most of them, 40%, are paying with Bitcoin. So there's only one network for Bitcoin. When it comes to decentralized finance, there is plenty of networks that are interconnected to each other, and you can actually lose funds there. But this is an advanced level where you kind of trade there, make loans or borrow money. So when you want to make just a payment, just to pay for the goods, that's super simple. You select the cryptocurrency, and then from your wallet you initiate a payment, and that's it. And you can actually turn off the window, and you will get the emails, everything from the merchant that he will settle you the service or send you the goods and everything.
Yeah, so basically as a user I have to set up a wallet for myself, yeah, and then I can buy crypto, buy euros in your platform. Let's call it platform. Is it okay or no?
Yeah. So you don't even have to buy cryptos from us, and we are agnostic in that sense. We just create you the funnel where you would be able to make a payment, and you can store your crypto assets on your exchange and make a withdrawal. You can pay from your mobile device, you can pay from your laptop, doesn't matter for us. We're not restricted to the wallet that would be CoinGate only. Such
a platforms like yours would be very beneficial for all the consumers if you would be integrating all the steps, all the vertical integration.
Yeah.
Wallet, transactions, trading, and all that stuff. It would be simpler for me.
Yeah, so we are doing that as well, but because we constructed everything at the beginning from the payment processor side. So we are now moving into direction of actually having an ecosystem where you can do all the, purchase crypto, store it in our wallet, and then make payments to the merchants that we serve. So, but as you know, with the stages of the companies, especially when you have a bootstrap project like ours, we had to sharpen the first skill, which is payment processors. And in 7 years...
To focus your...
Exactly, yeah. So in 7 years, we never had any serious breakdown. Our SLA was always high, so we never screwed our merchants. They were always getting a service. Therefore, we solved that side. We can grow on it. We are moving our operations outside of Europe. We're trying to come to the United States, which is a different level, a different pocket need of market. But we come there as a payment processor first. But in a few years, we will connect all the dots and we will move to ecosystem, because today there are many competitors and they have the consumers. And with our business model, we don't interact with the shoppers, we don't interact with consumers, we just collect payments from them. So this is a business strategy goal, but not for this year yet.
I heard a lot of rumors and stories that third world countries, it's liberating their life of poor people, Cuba, about Venezuela, about all some Asian countries, that people really don't get a possibility to have proper banking services and communicate with the world. Everybody understands that. But let's say in Europe, why should I deal crypto if not talking about being free? I understand the major fact behind this is to earn money of fluctuations, or no?
This is one of the reasons why people get fascinated by the technology, and every year the pie is getting bigger and bigger. So I think in next year, the total amount of population that would be integrated in crypto economy would exceed 300 million people. I think there is a projection for that.
Still very, very, very small market, but with
less
a huge
than the United States.
With a huge, but that it shows that there is a huge capability to grow.
Yeah. So, if I would have to choose one advantage, it wouldn't be the privacy. It would be the cross-border nature of the payments. Because in my own experience, for example, I counted actually. I was doing at some point, I was doing 15 transactions a day, which would be only related to cryptocurrencies. And what I mean by that, you imagine we have CoinGate, right? So we have part of the job done through freelancers. Those freelancers are living, for example, in Bangladesh.
Okay.
How you would settle a transaction there? How would you settle a transaction to India when they even don't have a bank, they don't even have a street name. Sometimes this happens, right? But they are able to, they're having a good English and they're able to write as good copies, for example. So in my own, if this is a question for each their own, right? In my world, I use cryptocurrencies for the daily purchases. Maybe for someone who has no need, but I don't know, he started to speculate it on the market. As I mentioned, there are like 200 million people around the world which are using cryptocurrencies on a daily basis. So if you're selling something worldwide, for example, a VPN, it's a huge benefit for you to start accepting cryptos, so that you can allow people from all over the world to use a unified system for payments.
Actually, crypto and such a services like VPN, they are creating some parallel, how to say, not universe, but separate society, how to say, in good sense, from the very regulated countries of today, global in global economies. Yes, because you told me that about freelancing. It hit me really. If I'm working with a lot of freelancing people, talents around the world.
Martina, can I give you one example?
Good.
Sorry. Just to clarify a little bit the things. It's not only the freelancer. I have a real use case scenario. A Chinese company is selling roof constructions to the Portuguese company. So the Portuguese company is a construction company and they're buying some kind of a technology roof, whatever, from China. It takes 3 or 4 weeks. It took 3 or 4 weeks to ship that stuff from China to Portugal, right? and it takes 2 weeks to settle the payment.
Yeah.
You see there's a gap.
Crazy.
This is nonsense, right? So, and sometimes the problem was that they were using an old system of correspondence banking. So they settled a transaction, and transaction came back 1 week after because there were some kind of documents or questions missing from the bank, because of course you need to be compliant with everything you do. But if payment is taking you the same amount as it takes to ship a container from China to Portugal, it doesn't make any sense. And what they solved, they went to the exchanger, they bought from fiat, from euros, they bought bitcoins, they transferred those bitcoins to China. There was an exchanger called btcchina.com, which had 0 fee commission back then. So they transferred everything to Chinese yuan, and that's it. That's all. Same day, and they were able to deliver. They were able to sell.
And I understand it's a real story.
This is real story. Yeah. I helped the guys to construct everything, and they were happy because it took much faster reaction time. Because sometimes when the correspondence banking payment came back, they had to issue another payment, but the Chinese didn't have the constructions anymore because they sold to someone else. So this is nonsense. We are able to hail a taxi with 1 click. We are able to find a new date in 1 click, right? And payments was the last frontier that had to be conquered. So cryptocurrency is solving that.
How do you persuade, for example, Lithuanian businesses to join the army?
This was a difficult task in past, and it still is.
It still is.
There's lots of education, lots of stigmas. I remember we had a booth at Login conference in 2017, actually, but before the ICO boom kicked in. And people came to our booth and asked us about ransomware attacks because their hardwares were locked, and they thought that we had something to do with that. So I had to explain that this is a technology. We have nothing to do with viruses or malware or hacker attacks. Still to this day, there is lots of education, especially for, let's say, less tech-savvy businesses. So if you're selling VPNs, if you're selling something like domains or hostings, you already understand the benefits. If you are selling something less tech-savvy, shoes online, there is a old-fashioned way. We need to go and explain that.
So basically, you approach the businesses directly, face to face.
Most of us, yes. Most of the time, yes.
Yeah, education is one of the most important, and that's why we're talking all this stuff today, and I think we will talk in the future.
So this is the best advertisement.
Yeah. But I still understand there are a lot of such businesses that you can imagine in Lithuania. They are not thinking about crypto. They don't even have a proper payment solution. They're accepting cash or something. So
but it's
maybe it's a good jump from cash straight to crypto.
Look, that's a fact. Once you integrate cryptocurrencies in your business, you get a new audience that would come and pay. You have usually twice the amount of average card that you're selling. This is a fact, and this is not a fact that we did our own research. This is a fact that was
global statistics.
Global statistics, yeah. This is a Forrester research that you can check online, and of course you don't have any chargebacks. Bitcoin, blockchain, whatever, Ethereum transactions are irreversible, so you don't have any chargeback fees and hassle and everything, and the commissions are usually low. So there are only advantages, but of course you need to communicate. As with everything you do, if you are integrating cryptocurrencies but people don't know about it, they will just figure it out in the checkout process. Most likely you would not see the benefits as if the other company would communicate it and be proactive. So
it has to be in advance done, like all the communication and explaining, because when you have your card full, so it's not that stage you have to talk about buying crypto. Yeah. What sectors, what businesses are the most earliest adopters and doing very well, and what sectors are like lagging behind?
Where we see right now the new wave of businesses that are interested at least in having a conversation with us is the consumer goods, clothing and the consumer goods, biggest retailers online in the Europe, in the United States. So they are like experimenting and just trying to understand whether it's whether it would be interested for them or not. But of course, the fortress of Bitcoins was and still is the tech-savvy stuff, which is servers, domain names,
all the tech stuff,
VPNs, VPSs, IT consumer product, let's say. So that's already a golden standard. You need to have that as a payment solution.
And as you mentioned, if the merchant adopts the crypto system, he gets twice, 3 times more customers.
Yeah, that's a true. That's a real fact. Again, we had an experience working with the booking platforms that allow you to book flights. So there's like an interesting fact that usually people who are paying with crypto would be more likely to buy additional services for their flight, like food, but they're also more likely to buy a business class.
Okay.
So I know where this money come from. These are the new crypto rich audiences that made their luck calculation.
Yes,
investment.
You named the good word, luck.
Yeah. So, but that's a fact, and you cannot ignore that.
Socialhack podcast. Lithuania is really registering a lot of fintech companies. Our sector is growing quite fast. How, from your perspective, would you describe Lithuanian market?
Vibrant. Even diverse, I would say. Government allows you to experiment. They give you the tools, they give you the sandbox. I think Lithuanian bank really deserves some kind of award for what they did for the attracting various businesses worldwide to Lithuania to operate their offices or start their businesses here. I really think that they did a terrific job. So there is a whole freedom of doing, whether it's crypto business or fintech company here in Lithuania. Of course, everything comes in price, and the price right now is usually the queues and the waiting time for you to be approved. But at the end of the day, there are really good selection of people working in the governments to allow for businesses to grow. We had a huge hype here in Lithuania around ICOs back in the day, which were in 2017. I think we will continue the trend this year with NFTs and metaverses. I think there's going to be a next big thing to collect the funds for great ideas, when in reality maybe not all of those ideas will be completed and finished. But this is a maybe philosophical question and maybe a reputational question to those who run such projects. But the reality is this: Lithuania is allowing you to be free here and to build and to be compliant with the existing regulations. So we are in a very good position.
So
Everything is fine.
Lithuania is great sandbox for developing and testing new ideas, especially in such a fintech sector. That's great. Dmitry, tell me, how are you doing with the business? You are growing, yes?
We managed to grow 2.5 times a turnover for our customers.
Last year.
Last year, right. And we also launched a few new products, which is kind of related with shoppers that would be interested in buying something from online retailers. So we called it gift cards. The consumer goods are already ready for customers to pay with cryptocurrencies, because the vast majority of those are coming of gift cards that we sell are coming from consumer goods, which is local big brands that would be like Amazon for each region, country, and etc.
But what is that gift card? It's like
It's a digital stuff. You get a code of 100 euro of Amazon, for example, gift card to your for your balance to be top up.
And this stuff works when you are checking out from Amazon on the card?
Yeah.
You put your code there, like
Exactly,
it's gift code or some kind.
So the reason
it
why
works like this.
Exactly, yeah. So the reason why we integrated is obviously we're still I guess few years away from Amazon in allowing cryptocurrencies to be accepted, but this is like a workaround. So you're buying a gift card for example, for Spotify, and then you can select a membership for annual membership or whatever, monthly one, and therefore we are able to still be somehow connected so that people would be able to buy what they need with cryptocurrencies, but as a workaround through gift cards. So this is a business, but of course this is a business that is growing. But of course our objective is not to sell as many Spotify gift cards as possible. Our objective is to actually allow Spotify to integrate cryptocurrencies through us. So gift cards is like a transition business where we have around 2,000 gift cards right now that we sell throughout all the regions. And this is also kind of a gate opener that we can come to the brand and ask them that, hey, we're already selling your gift cards and it's doing well for us. And we see that, this product alone grew 11 times for us last year. So it's pretty, we have an entire team that focused on that particular product. This also comes with the network effects. People are coming for gift cards, but they are opening their accounts, then they decide to open a business account or they refer to a friend. So this is how we collect the traffic, and that traffic also converts to revenue, and that traffic also converts to the cross-selling to other platforms or other products that we do.
So in even Lithuanian retail shops, you can buy a gift card for Lithuanian retail shops.
Exactly.
Okay. You mentioned you are going to United States market, yeah? So what are the plans?
We were never focused on solely on Lithuania. Our customers are worldwide. Most of it is in Europe. But for United States, it was such a big opportunity, and they had a different regulation. So we thought that we were not ready to understand the market. But in past 1 year, we managed to connect all the dots and to get the knowledge that was missing for us. So we already established a company there, and we want to go state by state. Our main objective, in general, we just finalized all the objectives and key results for this year. So despite of us having separate projects, we want to focus on payment processing, which is our number one goal this year. And therefore, in the United States, we want to do the same thing. I already refused working with several big American companies in the past because we were not confident that we would be compliant there. And these are really big top tier names, and I think if we won't take the chance right now, we might lose the opportunity in the future to actually start doing any business there. So our objective is do payment processing, and of course we kind of understand that this is a big market, and it's required to have deep pockets there and also some knowledge. So we will be looking for partners for an investment to actually establish our operations there.
But actually now is maybe the best time to go to United States market, because I was reading this report, a new report about the VC investments in fintech. In 21% of all the VCs money went to fintech companies, to win fintech investments. So it's like fifth of all the money. And actually, United States market is the largest. All the unicorns, all the largest fintech companies are based in United States. And there is a lot of competition, but I think for such agile businesses like yours, like with really hands-on, like Lithuanian style of doing business, you really can achieve something there.
Thank you. Well, we'll do our best, but we are also confident that I'm always fascinated by the learning curve. Whatever you do, you can always either take the experience or take the profit. So I'm very keen to try, and let's see how it will develop further. But for us, I think we think that we cracked the code and we know how to operate there, but the time will show.
So Dmitry, I wish you all the best this year with the CoinGate, with the business, and with the expansion to US market.
Thank you.
It was nice to have you here, and I think we will meet in the future talking crypto, talking new developments. So I'm looking forward myself to be adopter of this stuff, and I believe 22 will be really good for people with crypto.
We waited for this moment since 2014 when we launched a product. So it was a very bumpy, hard road, but I'm happy where we are. We have a strong team. We are stronger than ever before. So we already have a perfect product for a perfect timing. Yeah, let's hope this widespread adoption will happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, great to have such an optimistic note. So thank you one more time.
Thank you.
Cheers. Social Hack Podcast.